I have a tripod now, so I no longer have to rely on shaky cam and Digibro to record me, and I can just use my phone, which I sometimes think looks a little bit better than the digital camera we have, depending on the lighting. Yeah, I mean, they're both really great recording devices, but it's easier for me to use the camera just because it's mine, you know? So, yeah, here's Digibro for you. I don't think I'm going to use this clip, but I will at least know that I looked really good with no makeup on today. Hi everybody, welcome to day 4 of May. I hope everybody's having a great start to this week. In today's video, I wanted to neurotype the main characters from the just recently wrapped up series of Precure, Star Twinkle. I think this is a really great magical girl show to do this for, because the characters have they break the mold with their personalities. One of the characters is an alien. The main Precure has sort of a unique personality compared to a lot of like main character magical girls. So I thought it'd be really interesting to map the Precure. One thing in particular is the way that it's like color coded. I'm curious to see if the color of the Precure there'll be any like pattern that we'll see. Just because some of the ones I have in my mind, I can already be like, oh, the blue one is blue. Wow. So right now I'm looking at the updated neurotyping chart. If you've seen Digibro's video on it, link in the description. You really should check it out if you haven't already. The first video he put out, he neurotyped a bunch of anime characters, but as the chart was developed, he went ahead and changed the names. So I am more familiar with the original names, and I just watched some of the original videos, so like seeing the new names is kind of tripping me out a little bit. But it's funny because I think the new chart is better. I just really liked some of the branding of the names from before, where you have like the Brooder and you have Shadow Guardian. I just think some of those names are like really, they're very thought-provoking, very memorable names. So it's kind of like, I prefer those almost in a sense, but I mean, it doesn't really change depending on what name you use. But we're just going to use the updated chart because it's better. I'm on the Neurotyping subreddit, r/Neurotyping. This was created by a bunch of people, Digibro fans, who just wanted to neurotype characters from shows, wanted to talk about how thinking about a neurotyping chart has improved their life. Just different things they would like to add, or different new developments in the field of neurology, I guess. Oh, this is adorable. They seem to have made anime girl versions of all the neurotypes. This one's Overseer. I am like an Overseer fascinator, so I don't think I've ever talked about where I would put myself on the neurotyping chart, so let's just do this first. If you've never seen this chart, let me explain it briefly to you. So there are going to be 2 axes. We have on going vertically, we have lateral and linear. So a linear thinker is somebody who doesn't have a lot of difficulty just sticking to one train of thought. They don't really have to do with a lot of mental fog, and the more lateral you get, the more you are going to have different channels of thought being occupied, the more you are actually thinking about different things, the more complicated your thoughts become. I would probably say I'm somebody who is pretty lateral. I think that on this axis it's supposed to be like more autistic versus like less autistic thinkers, and the right to left is supposed to be like less dyslexic to more dyslexic. Whatever that means. I mean, it's kind of like, it's not 100% based off of like any kind of solid understanding of these terms. It's just kind of trends that I think Conrad has noticed with people who think different ways. Oh my gosh, the computer's like, your mouse is gone. In the case of the missing mouse, but it seems to be working now. Yeah, so the newest like development in neurotyping technology is going to be the heat map. So basically this idea is that you are not just on the chart. The way that you think will be varied, so it'll be like kind of sometimes at work you may need to be more linear and you don't have that much of a difficulty switching it up. You don't have, if you're somebody who is able to go from like very lateral to very linear, you just have a lot of discipline and you probably it's just not very difficult for you to switch depending on the circumstances. Like when I am working, I would say that I become way more lexical and way more word oriented if I'm like put in a work environment. But when I'm more creative and how I tend to be just naturally is more impressionistic. So let's just go ahead and make a heat map for myself real quick. We're on Photoshop right now. I did pirate this. If you want to know how to get Photoshop for free and Premiere, there is a lot of handy dandy subreddits for you. Don't pay for this shit because you are not a business. And my feelings on piracy are a little too edgy for this wholesome Precure content. But I am definitely on the side of, look, you're not a studio, you're not a big business that is being expected to pay out to have these programs for their team. You're just an independent contractor, you're doing it for yourself. Like, I don't know, I don't really see a problem with doing that. I don't know, come get me if you really have a problem with it. Okay, so we're gonna use like red as like where I would put myself most of the time. We're gonna turn down the opacity a little bit so you can see through it. Let's zoom in. So Conrad like put me in the overseers category, and at first it was kind of like between fascinator, quick witter, and overseer. The more time that I have actually spent thinking about where I should fall, I would say I'm like closer to overseer fascinator in that when I need to, I become more lexical, but my thoughts are not defined by words most of the time. I definitely am somebody who's very emotionally driven. I have a very high emotional intelligence, and I also have a lot of mind fog, and I think in a kind of chaotic way. So I'm gonna put myself like overseer, but like, you know, close to fascinator most of the time. Let's make the brush a little bit bigger. Alright. Thinking about what kind of music I'm gonna put in. Okay, let's use like an orange color. Did you know that orange, like, there a lot of cultures never had a word to describe orange? It was just like seen as like a brownish yellow color, and until people were introduced to the fruit, we like didn't have a concept of what orange was. So it's kind of funny. Okay, I'm gonna say that like I can make myself become more of a fascinator, and I can make myself be a little bit more quick-witted, and this is what I'd say like I am in a lot of social situations where like I'm still trying to be very true to myself, but also I care a lot about how the people around me are going to be perceiving me, and I try to go out of my way to be more approachable, be more confident, be more coherent, I guess, when I'm talking to other people. So I'm gonna put myself like a little bit in the quick-witted category with this orange, and I can be a little bit more of a fascinator too. Now we're gonna use like a yellowish green, I think. Like a puke green color. And this is gonna be like how I am when I need to get something done. When I'm in a position where I may not want to be there and like want to cause the least pain, the least misunderstandings as possible. and I'm probably gonna kick myself out more towards the left, where I really go out of my way to try to organize things like with words before I speak. I also like drink a lot of coffee, and sometimes like that helps me, I think, to be more on track with my thoughts. I don't know if this is like that for anybody else, but like it's way easier for me to focus on one train of thought, one channel of thought when I am caffeinated. Like when I used to be a manager at Target, I used to like drink a giant coffee, like 24 ounces of coffee before work, because I would go in there with a lot of social energy, and I would also just feel like it was so much easier for me to change gears and be a more clear communicator, more team oriented, I guess, when I have that little zip in my step, if you know what I mean. So this is gonna be me at work. I'm only gonna try to make 3 colors because I feel like those are like the most common situations. I don't know, maybe I could go further out than this, but I don't really think so. I'm gonna put myself like as far as like understanding. I'm probably gonna put myself like out here. I really don't think I ever go too much into the externals category, so we're just gonna have myself come here. Maybe I can tap more into like an analysis perspective, like when I'm doing a college assignment or something, but I'd probably put myself like a tail in here. I definitely think as I become more lexical, I become more linear, so I think this is like a fair assessment. Let's just have like a nice little like a tornado. There we go. All right, this is my my heat map. I'm gonna save this. Yeah. The Pantsu party. Let me draw a little Pantsu on here. Hell yeah, dude, it's the blue Pantsu. I know Pantsu are more like a blue-green, like a light blue, but yeah, there we go. There we go. We know what this is. Looks terrible. I'm sorry I ruined your chart, Digi. Oh boy, okay. Alright, let's go to Mal to get some pictures of these girls. Star Twinkle. Now, I know that it probably would be more SEO friendly if I went through and did every single Precure. I haven't seen every series. I've only seen up to Heartcatch, and I've seen Hugto and Star Twinkle. Yeah, so there's tons of shows that I haven't seen, and I really don't feel like I'm in a place where I can comment on those characters, just because part of the appeal of Precure is that there is a lot of character development. They always add like a 4th or 5th member to the team who's kind of like an outcast who has like some character development. She grows. She's a good person in the heart. Yeah, I mean, it's Precure. If you need to be sold on watching Precure, here, let me just blow your minds right here. Here, let me just show you. There we go. I don't know if this will be a good clip, but fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah. You should watch it. I really recommend watching Heartcatch. The animation is really good. It just is really fun. Everybody says that's a good place to start. I also really like Fresh Precure and Hugto Precure, and Star Twinkle is also really good, but I wouldn't recommend that as like a starting place. Hugto probably is a good starting place. I would recommend it especially for girls. But if you hate babies, please don't watch Hugto. Just either start at the first OG Precure or Heartcatch. Yeah, and you'll have a good time. I promise, you'll have a good time. Just do it. Do it for yourself. You're only getting older, you know. Eventually, you're gonna watch the show and be like, "Oh, I sure wish I watched this while it was cool." And it's really funny how none of the licensing companies in America or streaming companies have really been able to successfully pick it up. Netflix has Glitter Force, but like the way they branded it and the fact that the toys aren't coming out in America like simultaneously with these shows, I think really kind of hurts it. But in Japan it's fucking huge, so I really do think there's lots of people in the West that would appreciate Precure. So yeah, bring it here, please, bring it here. I will voice act every single character. You can just pay me in fucking gum. You could pay me in gum and you can have Precure for the masses. Call me, Funimation, call me. All right, so first we got Lala, or Kier Milky. So this character, she's a green Kier, which is kind of like a rare. So, I don't want to spoil anybody, but like it's just Precure, so I don't think you're going to be missing out by being spoiled. I was spoiled because when they introduced the 5th Cure, immediately that's all that was on my timeline because I follow a bunch of like Precure artists. So I already knew like who the Precure was, and I already could like make estimations on like, oh, I know which character this is like I pretty much understand what's going on. Yeah, sorry, there's spoilers in this. Alright, let's put her in. Okay. So on her planet, there is an AI that will tell you what to do. So you really just listen to the AI. There's like Lala does not know how to add double digits, and there's a scene where she's like astonished that one of the characters like can do simple math, and she's like, "Oh, you don't rely on the machine to do that? Why would like that's amazing? Like Earthlings are amazing." Yeah, she's from outer space, and then by the end of the series, she realizes that she wants to do things her own way, and that the people on her planet really can learn a lot from the way that things are done on Earth, and that individuality is like, you know, it could be important, it could be a good thing. So in the beginning of the series, she is kind of like, she kind of takes herself really seriously. She doesn't really understand what's wrong with these other characters, why they aren't just doing what they're being told like her. So, and as she gets, you know, throughout the series, she kind of changes on that, and she grows a whole lot. She's a really cute character. I love her a whole lot. So I would say that she is rather, I'd say she is a little bit impressionistic, and that's why in the end she does decide to kind of go her own way. But I wouldn't say that she's like full on impressionistic. So I also don't think she's somebody who's like super lateral, because she, you know, she really is just out to save the world. I don't think she has like that much going on. So I'd probably put her in, she's not really an externalist. Oh boy. This is one of the harder characters, because like some of them I already know where I'm gonna put them. But for her, let's just put her down here for now. Maybe it'll help when we put some other characters on the map. I really wanted to do her first. Hikaru, Kier Star. She is the main character. She is the one with, you know, who is introduced to all of this magical shit first. And she is pretty cool. She is in love with the Kappa man. Yeah, I've seen a lot of weird dojins. She is high energy and very positive, but interestingly enough about her, she starts as somebody who's kind of a loner and kind of aloof. She's obsessed with astronomy and the stars, and she doesn't really care that other people aren't interested or that they don't understand her. And she's constantly creating new constellations. She has like a catchphrase. I'd say that she is very, very impressionistic. And spoilers, in the end of the show, she actually becomes an astronaut. So yeah, it's pretty fucking cool. She's a Newtype for sure. 100% a Newtype. I don't think she got a lot out of being lexical or really communicating why she's interested in the stars. And that's why she kind of like pushed herself away from other people. So I think that, you know, as she develops, she kind of appreciates the more lexical people in her life, and she inspires them, and she also encourages them to like follow their heart. But she is somebody who like always follows their heart, is always very impressionistic. She thinks in constellations. She's extremely creative, and she's a fucking astronaut. So definitely a Newtype for sure, 100%. Now we are at Uni, aka Kier Cosmo. She is a character who is introduced later into the series, and she originally is kind of like an antagonist. She is a thief who is trying to steal all of the magical item to revive her planet, which has been turned to stone by the bad guys. So she's trying to like save her whole family, but she's doing it as a thief. She is, you know, just kind of a complex girl. I would definitely put her in what used to be the brooders category. I think that is a perfect description of her. Basically, like, on the inside, she really wants to, you know, she wants to save her planet, she wants to do the right thing, and on the outside she has kind of this, like, you know, she's been done wrong by the universe, she wants to get things done her way, she doesn't really trust other people to do things right, she lies and misleads the bad guys, she's just, like, using people, but there's a lot of, like, confliction between her moral code and the things that she has to do to achieve her end goal. And I think it's really hard for her to relate to the more impressionistic characters on this chart, like Kira Star. So I would definitely put her all the way to lexical, and yeah, I'm gonna put her in the contemplative one just because she is extremely contemplative in the fact that the person that she is on the inside and the person that she is on the outside does not match. And when she becomes a Precure, it's finally like, okay, well, this is what she needs to be doing because she is somebody who is completely driven by passion with a pure heart. Like, that's why she's doing all these bad things. So, yeah, she's a really cool character. The pictures on Mal suck. Is there a better, that you have more options? I really want to show you her outfit. Good old DuckDuckGo. Yeah. She's a rainbow. She's blue and she's a rainbow. It's really funny that there's like 2 blue Kiers this season because it's like they usually try to, you know, have a balance between cool and warm colors, but this season is just like very cool, very like neon star colors. So I think it totally makes sense that she's like this, and also, you know, she's awesome. I love her. She is voiced by this chick who's pretty cool. Okay, Kier Soleil, like Circus Soleil. She is a Mexican and Japanese. Her dad speaks Mexican. Her mom is like a translator, and she's one of the older characters. She's a grade older than the main character, and she is the sun of her high school. She has a very like beautiful smile, and she's all about smiling, and she loves her family a whole lot. So let's see where we're gonna put her. Okay, so Kier Soleil, she is, I'd say she's impressionistic. I don't think she is super lateral, but I do think she is, well, you know, I think she might be more lateral than I'm giving her credit for, because she's kind of like the big sister of the Precure team, and she's always like very in tune with the other characters' feelings, which would lead me to want to put her in probably between externalist and impressionistic. There's a whole arc about her smiling, and her mom and one of the villain characters are just disappointed that she's never really showing her true face, because She really wants the people around her to be happy for her, and she wants to like be the sunlight to those people, even though she is feeling a lot of pressure, and it's not so easy being different. She is like a dark-skinned character. She's the first dark-skinned cure. She's very different from the other characters around her. She has this culture that she loves, but like some people might find like really alienating, really different, really overbearing. So it's just like not everybody is going to immediately like her. I would probably put her actually more on the externalist after, like, yeah, she is kind of like a people-pleasing character, and she grows a lot after she realizes that what she wants to do with her life is to help people understand each other, and not so much to make them feel better, to put like a band-aid on their wounds, but more so people understand where they're coming from. And there's this episode where she is talking to like this flower alien, and they communicate through dance. She's able to like understand that this guy doesn't speak a language, and that he's able to communicate through dance. Which would make me, yeah, she's definitely not lexical. She's definitely an impressionistic person. Yeah, I'd put her like, that seems about right. We have Kaguya Madoka. The best magical girl name ever. She's really cute. She's like, you know, she's the Yamada Nadeshiko, right? She's the perfect woman. She is a pianist. She does the tea ceremony. She's student council president. Her dad is rich. She lives in a mansion. She is like a not a realistic character at all, but she does have a lot of like internal conflict. So we're gonna put this character more on the left. She's definitely a lexical kind of thinker. She is hung up on words, has a lot of difficulty understanding other people's feelings, and there's an arc with her where she's like doing archery, and she has a rival, and she really can't deal with the fact that the rival is like hates her because she is having fun and isn't serious 100% of the time. And she has a lot of difficulty understanding that. She's also trying to hide things from her father constantly because he works for the government. I would probably put her in like probably like a technician kind of in this area, maybe like over here. I'd probably put her like right here. I would say she's extremely lateral because I'd probably maybe even put her up a little bit higher. She has this identity at school that she like keeps up with constantly, and also her identity as a precure. And I just think for somebody to be so competent on so many like competent in so many different areas, is just somebody who has a lot of processing power, has a lot of ability to, you know, constantly be keeping tabs on how things are in her home life, in school, but she's not perfect at it, so that's why I don't think she's like a full human calculator. And she does have like, you know, sometimes she has to take a step back and really think about what's important to her and not try to overwhelm herself. She doesn't really, I think, get as developed as some of the other characters, and it's kind of unfortunate. I didn't really like, I like Cure Soleil more as like an older kind of big sister type character, but she's still really cool and really fun and really nice. So I'd put her somewhere over here. And then, like, Cure Milky, let's come back to her. Okay, looking at her, I would definitely put her fairly linear. She's not pure instinct at all. And she's not quite a bookkeeper, because then she would never try to change the system. Wow. It's really hard just because she's a fucking alien, you know? She is an alien. And she is the character who changes the most throughout the series. Yeah, I'm gonna put her a little bit more towards lexical. I'm gonna put her linear. I'm gonna probably put her like, yeah, right there. A little bit more towards level-headed, but a little bit on the right towards clear-sighted. She definitely is somebody who doesn't really know how to connect to people emotionally. She has a lot of trouble when kids at school start to alienate her because she is just so different and doesn't really understand what people are telling her. She's not really super adaptable, but she has a pure heart and she's hardworking and, you know, she's really eager and clear-sighted and wants to change things. So I think this is a perfect placement for her. So yeah, let's kind of look at the colors. I think it's really funny how Cure Star is, yeah, that's absolutely correct with her. Cure Soleil, you could possibly move her more to the right in like the impressionistic category, but like I do think it's interesting that she would be right there. She kind of has like a purple and yellow aesthetic, so I think that's really fitting for her. For Kira Cosmo, the cat girl, she's a cat girl with the rainbow. She's such an over-designed character, but it's really funny because she's so sassy. She's great. I really love these characters. The character designs are great in Star Twinkle. I like them a lot more than Healing Good, honestly. And I know I'm like the only person that feels that way, but I just really like the kind of chubby looking art style. It kind of reminds me of like the Aikatsu designs, especially with the hairs. The colors particularly. But yeah, I think it makes complete sense that Uni would be over here. Cure Celine. Her name is Cure Celine or Madoka Kaguya. Yeah. It would make more sense if she was purple and she was a fascinator, but no, she definitely belongs on the left side of the chart. So it's interesting because, you know, the purple cures are usually more complicated, but she's just good at everything. That's what I would say. She's just perfect. And yeah, then we have Kira Milky, who I think that makes sense where I put her. I don't think she's an analysis at all. So even though that would match her color. Yeah. So that was interesting and fun. I might do more of these. I told people that I would do everybody on the kill stream, and that would be really funny, except for I think that they would see this and be like, that girl's so fucking weird and autistic. Oh my gosh, she's a lol cow. So I would not do that. No, I don't actually think they would do that, but maybe they would. I don't know. Ralph has been like talking to this e-girl, so I'm kind of like, I don't know what's going on there. Her name's like Excite. She did a commentary about That Feel When No Girlfriend documentary. I tried to watch it, but the audio is just so bad on the documentary itself. Let me know if you're interested on my thoughts on incels, because I kind of see myself as like a female incel. I'm definitely a lesbian incel. I don't think that... I don't know. I really do kind of relate to how some people feel about stuff like that, but in like a weird way, I guess. But that was really fun. I hope you guys enjoy. Yeah, I hope you guys are happy that the camera's not shaking constantly. This is going to be a blast to edit. Yeah, I hope you are also enjoying the clips that I'm putting in my videos. I want to make them kind of like a lifestyle daily vlog, kind of more a day in the life of a femtaku or a fujoshi, you know what I mean? I think that would be like a fun approach to take things. And just how fucked up women are. JK. Kind of just like, you know, pointing a finger and laughing at my life, because I think that's the best way to be. But I hope you enjoy. I hope you guys are enjoying some kind of nice May weather, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye! All right, so I just heard the news, the big news, that Nick Cage is going to be brought on to play the one, the only Joe Exotic from the Tiger King universe, right? This is a universe. I'm really curious if any of you have ever, if you guys know who Joe Exotic is, or if you've ever seen any of his YouTube content. I feel like that would be an interesting deep dive. The only thing I know of it is just what was in the documentary. Oh my god, Nick Cage is having a fucking resurgence. Nick Cage was in that movie Mandy, and Red Letter Media is like, that's a good movie. I still haven't seen it, but that guy just died. I killed him. No, I mean, I don't really fucking watch movies, but I'm trying not to swear. I don't have that much time to watch movies, and I have ADHD and autism, and I can't sit for longer than 22 minutes. That's why anime is perfect. Speaking of Tiger King, a Tiger King anime series, that would be pretty good. How come China can get them to make series on Karl Marx, but we can't even get a simple Tiger King anime series? Yeah. So, thoughts on the new Tiger King movie? Is it a show or a movie?
I thought it was like a scripted TV show.
It was some kind of scripted thing. It might not be a movie. It might not be a TV show. It might be just a YouTube video. Imagine Nick Cage is just like, I'm gonna be a YouTuber now and just have people write my YouTube scripts. People would be into that. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Tiger King forever. Nick Cage. 2020. Vote Libertarian.